Your cat loves you. That's why there's a dead bird on your kitchen floor. You probably screamed. Your cat probably watched you scream and felt nothing, and somehow that makes it worse. But here's the question nobody actually answers. Why does a well-fed cat with a full bowl of food 20 feet away still hunt? Is your cat trying to feed you? Are they bringing gifts? Or is something older and stranger going on? What does this say about what your cat actually thinks of you? And why does it look so incredibly proud when you're clearly horrified? The answer involves ancient instincts, a bizarre teaching ritual, and the very real possibility that your cat has looked at you, assessed you carefully, and decided you are completely helpless in the wild. And honestly, it's probably right. Here's what a cat actually is, stripped down to basics. Cats are what biologists call obligate carnivores, which just means they have to eat meat to survive. Their bodies can't process plant nutrients the way other animals can. But the weird part isn't the diet. The weird part is that hunting and hunger are handled by different parts of the brain. They don't talk to each other. They don't cancel each other out. Your cat can be completely full and still feel a powerful drive to hunt. Not because it wants food, but because the hunting system just runs on its own schedule, like a separate app that never closes. That's why the full food bowl means nothing when a bird lands in the yard. The bowl handles hunger. The bird triggers something else entirely. But that explains the hunting. It still doesn't explain why the mouse ends up at your feet. Here's where most people get it wrong. The popular story is that it's a gift. Your cat loves you. It's sharing its catch. It wants to make you happy. That version feels nice. It also happens to be exactly how humans think about giving things to people they care about. And that's precisely the problem. We're projecting our own logic onto an animal running completely different software. Cats don't really have a gift concept the way we do. They're not thinking about making you smile. They're not wrapping something up with good intentions. The real driver is something much older and honestly much more fascinating. It's a teaching protocol, one that was running in wild cat mothers millions of years before the first human ever built a grain store. So your cat isn't treating you like a friend who deserves a present. It's treating you like a kitten who desperately needs help surviving. And here's where it gets crazy. Your cat may have already evaluated your hunting ability, run the numbers, and concluded that you are a serious liability. Wild cat mothers bring prey home in clear stages. In the first stage, they bring back dead prey, a demonstration. This is food. This is what it looks like. This is what you should be looking for. In the second stage, they bring back live prey, still moving, still trying to escape. A practice session. Now you try. Figure it out. In the third stage, the mother steps back entirely and lets the kitten hunt alone. Graduation. Your cat is running stage 1 or stage 2 on you right now in your home, on your kitchen floor. When it drops something dead at your feet, it's not being weird or morbid or dramatic. It's running ancient software that has worked for millions of years without a single update. Your cat hunts regularly, but you never hunt at all. Therefore, in your cat's mental filing system, you have been classified as a kitten who needs feeding and instruction. That is not a metaphor. That is your cat's honest, practical read of the situation. Your cat has decided you are a bad hunter, and it is stepping in to cover for you. Think about that the next time you open a can of soup while your cat watches from across the room with that specific look. Now here's the comparison most people miss. Dogs bring things home too. You throw a ball, the dog fetches it back. Everyone thinks it's adorable and calls it a day. But dogs retrieve things for completely different reasons. Dogs are pack animals wired for cooperation and group approval. Bringing something back is about bonding, about showing they can contribute, about staying connected to the group. It's social behavior, warm, enthusiastic, approval-seeking. For cats, bringing prey home is instructional. It's not warm. It's a performance review, and you are not passing. There's also an interesting wrinkle worth knowing about. Spayed female cats, one theory suggests, may actually do this behavior more frequently than cats that haven't been spayed. The idea is that with no kittens to direct that maternal teaching drive toward, the instinct gets redirected toward the next available option, which is you, the live animal drop, that specific terrifying moment when something is still moving on your floor and you have no idea what to do. That's not cruelty, that's your cat deciding. You've completed stage 1 and are ready for hands-on training. Your cat is not being sadistic. Your cat has simply decided it's time to level you up. Now go back about 10,000 years. Picture a human settlement somewhere in the Fertile Crescent, the region that covers modern-day Syria, Iraq, and parts of Turkey. Humans have just figured out how to store grain in large quantities. Clay pots, stone rooms, early warehouses stacked with food, and grain storage does something immediate and predictable. It attracts mice. Huge numbers of mice drawn to one concentrated location. Mice attract cats. And here's where the history gets interesting. Cats were probably not domesticated the way dogs were. Humans didn't go out into the wilderness, capture wild cats, and spend generations breeding them into household companions. The current thinking among researchers is that cats essentially domesticated themselves. They moved toward human settlements because the hunting there was extraordinary. Rodents concentrated in one place, slow and fat and easy to catch. Cats stayed because the food supply was reliable and constant. Humans tolerated them, then welcomed them because the mice started disappearing. Nobody tamed anybody. Two species simply found each other useful and made an informal agreement that has now lasted 10,000 years. But somewhere inside that long partnership, something shifted in the cat's brain. Human spaces became home territory, and in cat logic, home territory means family. Family that doesn't hunt, especially family that seems completely unable to feed itself without mysterious silver pouches from a cabinet, means teaching is required. The dead animal on your floor this morning has a 10,000-year receipt attached to it. This is the part everyone misses. It's not random, and it shows up in far more places than you'd expect. When your cat brings you a sock or a stuffed toy mouse instead of real prey, that's the same drive with a different object. No live prey available, so the sock becomes the teaching aid. When your cat makes that strange chattering sound at birds through a window, that rapid jaw movement, that weird clicking, part of that is frustration, but part of it is the jaw rehearsing the kill bite it can't actually deliver through the glass. Practice with no prey. When your cat drops a live cricket or a moth on the floor near you and then sits back, that's stage 2 of the curriculum. Your turn. Feral cat colonies do this too. Older, more experienced cats have been observed bringing food back to sick or elderly members of the group who can't hunt for themselves. Same ancient software, different target. And here's one that genuinely makes people stop. Large cats in zoos, lions, cheetahs, leopards have been documented offering prey items to specific zookeepers they're comfortable with. Not all zookeepers, specific ones they've built a relationship with, which connects to something your cat is doing that's even more pointed. It has assessed every single person in your household individually and made a judgment about each one's hunting ability. The person who gets the most deliveries is almost certainly the one the cat has ranked as most in need of help. Cats also hunt far more at dawn and dusk. Those are their peak activity hours, so the 3 a.m. gift is not random timing. That's your cat operating at full capacity during its best hours and choosing to spend that prime window on your education. Urban cats bring more prey in spring because that's when young animals are everywhere. Small, slow, inexperienced, easy to catch. When your cat eats part of the prey but leaves you the rest, it wasn't saving you a portion out of generosity, it was a little hungry. The hunt and the hunger are still running on completely separate systems, remember. And cats that yowl loudly when they carry something in, that yowl is the announcement. Class is in session, come see what I've brought. Your cat has a full curriculum mapped out. You are enrolled. There was no orientation. Here's the honest trade-off that's worth knowing. Cats are genuinely effective hunters, one of the most efficient small predators on the planet with a hunting success rate that puts most animals to shame. The same instinct behind everything described above also means outdoor cats hunt constantly. Birds, lizards, small mammals, anything that moves at the right speed. Domestic cats and local wildlife coexisted for thousands of years without catastrophic problems, but the number of owned outdoor cats living in dense suburbs and cities today is a relatively recent development. A lot of well-fed, highly skilled hunters in a small geographic area adds up over time. The instinct cannot be trained away. It runs too deep and too separately from everything else. Bell collars reduce hunting success by giving prey animals a small warning, though cats do adapt to them over time. This isn't a lecture, it's just the data, and it's worth having. Your cat doesn't bring you gifts, it brings you lessons. The next time something appears on your floor and your cat is watching you with that patient, slightly tired expression, that's not aloofness. That's a 10,000-year-old survival system running exactly as designed, aimed directly at you. The purr, though, that's a whole different mystery. That's next.